March 26, 2015, Sweet 16, March Madness. Wichita State versus Notre Dame. Action out of the Midwest region. The number 7 seed taking on the number 3 seed as the Shockers and the Fighting Irish were going at it in Cleveland, Ohio. And what a game this was. The Irish jumped out to a quick lead early on. They led by as many as 12 points in the first half. But then around the midway point in the first half, Ron Baker hit a big tray that made it a 6-point game at 23-17. A minute later, Baker hits another trifecta, and it was now 23-20. It would remain a 3-point game going into halftime with the score 33-30. Then in the second half, the Shockers would actually take the lead from Notre Dame, but the Fighting Irish would take the lead back, and they would push their lead to double digits as they were up by 12 once again as they had been earlier in the first half. But then, with about 7 minutes left to play in this game, the Irish were up by 9 points, and they went on a 10-0 run. Started off with a dunk by Zach Augustine, a tray by Pat Connaughton, and then Vasturia gets a tray, and a couple of free throws by Demetrius Jackson, and now the Fighting Irish were up by 19. They would end up coasting on to victory in the final minutes of the game as the Shockers were not able to overcome that run, and the final score would be 81-70 as Notre Dame is moving on to the Elite Eight with an 11-point victory over the Shockers. And how did Notre Dame do it? Well, they did it with good ball movement, and they did it with good shooting from the field and from downtown. As the Fighting Irish had 3 times as many three-pointers as the Shockers, as they had 9 3-pointers versus just 3 for Wichita State. The Irish were 47.4% from the 3-point line, as opposed to just 16.7% for Wichita State. And from the field, the Irish shot 55.6% versus just 40% for Wichita State. And as I said, they had good ball movement. They had 18 assists versus just 9 for the Shockers. The Shockers did out-rebound the Fighting Irish, and they mainly did that with the offensive boards, but the Irish actually had more defensive rebounds over the Shockers. And in this game, we got a couple big performances from the Shockers as Fred Van Fleet had 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And Darius Carter was just 2 rebounds shy of the double-double with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and a block. But the Fighting Irish had 4 starters in double digits, led by Demetrius Jackson with 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Pat Connaughton had a double-double with 16 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And Steve Vasturia had 15 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists. And Zach Auguste had 15 points, 6 boards, and a block. So the Fighting Irish come up big, and Jerian Grant had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 11 assists, and 2 steals. So he was just 1 point shy of a double-double and 1 point shy of having all 5 starters score in double digits. So the Fighting Irish coming up big as they were pretty dominant in this game. It was close at moments. It was close going into halftime, and the Shockers actually had the lead in the second half for a moment. But once they took the lead, Notre Dame came right back, took it, and pushed their lead to double digits, as I said earlier. And the Fighting Irish are dancing on. They're going to the Elite Eight, and we will see who they will be playing, as they're going to be waiting to see who wins between Kentucky and West Virginia. And that game will be played on March 28th, so keep an eye out for that one. But as for this game, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish win with the final score, Notre Dame 81, Wichita State 70.